folks, here it goes. Here it goes. We got it out. We got it out. Okay. Here's the big bad boy right here. Here's our drills. We haven't touched them in, I don't know, forever.
A year and a half.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's been over a year. It's been over a year.
We'll just say a year. We'll round it to a year. So we're halfway. I know that. So,
are we halfway?
Yeah, we're halfway. Okay. I think we're exactly halfway.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, let's.
All right. So
I'm excited to see it.
I'm gonna put this on the tripod, and we'll open her up. Here it goes. We're opening it. Remember? Oh, it's very glary, but that's okay. Very glary. Yeah,
okay.
that plastic. Very glary. See?
Wow.
See?
Wow.
See? We have all the way the lighthouse, the lady, and we're over here. That's
definitely.
See, look, that's halfway.
Yeah.
Because there's the paint with passion.
Paint with passion. Yeah, we are definitely halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
how
to
are we
work
gonna
on
tackle
this, I think maybe we roll this end up.
Yeah.
I have some clips. We can clip it like to keep it, rolled.
Okay.
And then we'll start over here. Okay, let me grab those little clips real quick.
First.
What do you mean we did the wrong end first?
Well, the other end was far more interesting.
That end's more fun.
Yeah.
But look at this end, though.
This is going to be, that's true.
Trees and the gazebo.
I almost said pagoda.
And I don't know what's under here.
That's a mystery what's under there.
We don't know what's under there.
I don't know either.
So now we're going to work here.
Yep, we'll work here.
So what are we going to do with all this? Hang on. How are we going to do this?
I think what we're going to have to do is maybe let that hang and one of us work upside down and one of us work right side up.
Work like this.
Yeah. So I don't mind working upside down. It's up to you. I don't mind working upside down.
I'm okay. Then that won't hang if we turn it.
But then we can, it could.
Let that hang off?
Oh, then they'll hang and they'll be too heavy.
That's what I was
all right.
thinking. We'll do it this way.
Okay, you don't mind working upside down?
No, I work upside down all the time.
Okay.
I'm upside down all the time.
I'm upside down all the time.
I love to be upside down.
All right, breaking off a new section. Let's see.
I don't know if the stuff in my pen is going to work or if I'm going to need to...
Well,
this is a pen that's just been sitting around.
Yep.
I might read everything.
I have a couple of favorite pens recently, and I broke the 4-place tip off one of them. I've never done that before.
You have more, don't you?
Yes, at home, but I forgot that I had done it, and I stuck it in my to-go bag and brought that pen.
So your pen right now with your 4-placer doesn't work?
Well, but I had a different pen in my bag. So I've got a backup.
Okay,
yeah, I've got a backup.
So I have 4-placers.
Yep.
Oh, where'd my glue dot go? I lost it. I dropped it.
Nope, I got 4-placer. I got a 4-placer. I've got glue dots. I've got NYX's Notions sticky mud.
Oh, sticky mud.
It's putty, actually. I really like it.
I still like your Not Your Mama's mud.
I love Not Your Mama's mud. It's all I used for years and years and years.
Not Your Muddin'. I don't get it though. I don't have any. Because I'm redoing my pen.
It's all I used for years, but I just tried that we got it in a retreat bag or something. We must have, because Maddie had some too.
From NYX?
Yes.
It's a putty?
Yes.
I don't like it.
I liked it. I like it.
I think all putties, and I don't know what it is with putties, all putties just get stringy to me.
See, and I thought that too, but this is the only one that does not get stringy.
Well, that's awesome. You got a good one.
I got an option, yeah.
Because they all just string, and I can't stand it.
I have been enjoying it.
Good.
Yep. I mean, Not Your Mama's Bun will always be my first love, but...
Yeah. And this one right here, I don't even know how long I've had this one. I feel that it's getting... I just made a mess. I don't even know where that all went. It's right there.
I think you're going to get lucky.
And get something pretty?
Well, no, I think you're going to have at least some color blocking. This is all confetti down here.
Yeah, okay. I got the sky end.
Yep, you got the sky end.
Look, here is a little pink drill. but it's round.
It's round, and this is a square painting. So
and it's AB.
And so where did it come from?
I have no idea. No idea where
That's
it came
interesting.
from. No idea where it came from, what it belongs to, why it's here, why it won't get off my finger. Nothing.
None of those questions have answers.
I don't understand any of that. So, I still got Not Your Mama's Mud coming off my thumb. I'm going to have to like turn a little bit because I'm at a very strange
odd angle. You can turn it however you want to because I'm at a little bit of an odd angle as well.
How do you want it this way? I wonder if it would be better if we turned it completely and I sat over there.
You know what?
Opposite side of the table.
That would probably be
best. Will we
best.
both be able to reach?
I think so.
Let's try that.
Let's try that.
Sorry, we're going to readjust here. We're readjusting. I got a dog bed in my way, though. No dog in it, though. So let's try.
Let's try that and see what happens.
Pen? No, you don't.
Yeah, we've had that experience before where Mindy lost her pens.
Oh, now we can just
Now we can do that.
Maybe.
And maybe we could get it to lay down, huh?
Yeah, just make that be flat for a while.
Yeah, okay. I think this might work.
Now, what are you guys seeing? Are you seeing everything?
Are you seeing anything?
Yeah. So now we're kind of like both in the middle of the table. It's a little bit of a reach for me, but that's okay.
Well, you can pull it a little further your way.
Oh, fine.
I think I have longer arms than you.
I have another. Maybe these came from my. Maybe they just came out of this tray.
Out of that tray.
From my painting I'm working on.
What one would that be?
It's the Dreamer Design Sunflower, which would make sense that those would belong to that.
Yes. So I have to tell you, I do feel as if I'm cheating right now.
Why?
Because I did tell you that I was going to be monogamous.
Oh, yeah.
To my one project.
Me too. What do I get?
What do you got? Sky!
Yep, lots and lots of sky.
Bunch of sky. I know,
First of all,
maybe
this is wrinkly, so
yeah, there you go.
This.
Mine is too. Let me read
the top. It seems to be better than doing it.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
And be flat.
Just
be flat.
Or
not
C
as
sharp.
In music. Not as in musical. All right, so I need a color. What color are you working on?
I'm working on Q.
I don't even know what I need. Let's see. I need M or B. Oh, Lord.
M or B.
Do you see M or B anywhere? Here's M.
Oh, good.
I got M.
Because this had how many colors?
Oh, I don't even know.
90 some?
Where is like the little papers? I thought you know what I mean? The little paper
92.
things.
92 colors this has.
Oh, God.
I forgot that.
You know what I mean? Like the legend things with the picture or whatnot? I thought that was in here
thought that was in here somewhere as well. Is it right?
No, that's the release paper.
I have no idea. Oh, could it be in
underneath these? No, I don't
know.
I don't believe so. I don't know where they're at.
I don't know either. Is it in the box?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Nope, nothing in the box.
All right. Well, I know that since I just put this Not Your Mama's Mud in this pen, it's not gonna four-place properly at first. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Line up right, and you gotta wait
because you gotta get
a groove.
Right, you gotta get it into its groove.
Yeah, you gotta get a groove in your sticky whatever you're using.
See, I feel the same way with my actual four-placer. When I first change into a new four-placer, yes, I gotta get the groove going a little bit. But then it's a fine line because you don't want your grooves going too far.
Right.
Then you need a new one.
Right.
Especially if you press hard.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, it's weird because as much as I go through four-placers, because I do press hard.
I don't ever do that.
Oh, I go through at least one per painting. I've never broken one. That's the first time I'd ever broken.
What happens that you go through them? What do you mean you go through them?
They get grindy, like the tops get like jagged.
Too jagged?
Too jagged.
I mean, I like mine jagged.
I like mine a little bit jagged, not a lot jagged.
Like, how's the jagged on that?
Let me feel it. Way too jagged.
See, but I like that.
That's too jagged for
Let me
me.
see yours.
This one is borderline too jagged for me. But I don't have a choice.
Oh, and your mud's sticking out.
I know,
Your
because I was
poop
just
is
playing with
sticking.
my mud.
Oh, yeah, yours doesn't look a lot different from mine
No,
at this point. in time.
mine's borderline too jagged.
Okay. Well, you know you can file them down. Have you ever done that?
No, but that's an excellent idea.
You can file them. People just take like a emery board.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
File them.
See, learn something new with Mindy.
I've never filed mine, but
Well, you know, the thing is, I always had an ample supply, so I never worried about it.
of four placers.
Yeah, because one comes in every Diamond Art Club.
Right.
And I have plenty. But, however, I started getting a lot more picky about them and going through about one per painting. And I went through this phase where when I got a new kit, when I unboxed
You
it,
just throw everything away.
no, I threw all my toolkits in a drawer in my craft room. And then when I cleaned out my craft room, my friend was helping me and opened that drawer and said, "What about this stuff?" And I said, "Oh, I don't need any of those. Just throw them all away." Completely
extra four placers.
Yes, completely forgetting that there were four placers and washi tape and baggies, all of which I definitely use.
You like the baggies?
I keep them for emergency. I don't like them, but I keep them for emergency.
I get rid of those. I have no use for those ever.
Just for emergencies.
And if I needed some, I have quite a stash downstairs.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a stash downstairs.
No, I prefer to not use baggies, you know that.
But say like my Dreamer Design overseas shipped comes in baggies, I'm not kidding it up.
See, exactly. I agree with
use them
that.
like that.
Yeah, if it comes in it, I never used to be like that. I used to kit up even if they came in
Yeah, I
baggies.
won't do that. Craftablies, there's a bunch of those that come in baggies. I use them like that.
Okay, my diamond painting Deutschlands, those come in baggies. Hell no, am I doing those out of baggies?
Well, I get that. That one I understand. But just your normal average.
Is this where you usually diamond paint at your house?
Nope.
I was going to say, because it's a little glary.
Nope, I never diamond paint here. Well, I shouldn't say never. I sometimes will sit out here and work on special drill things.
Okay.
Because they're small.
Yep.
And no, I work on that tiny little table in the office.
I know everybody, I believe it. I don't think there's a problem with that.
It's literally like little, like 36 inches maybe.
Well, I work on my little lap desk in my recliner.
Yeah,
and I
can't do that.
I do every size diamond painting on that.
I have not ever been a sit in the couch type of diamond painter.
I couldn't, if I had to sit in a kitchen chair to diamond paint, I probably never would have gotten into it.
I actually sit out here and crochet sometimes too.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
How uncomfortable.
Well, I got a chair cushion on that chair. It's pretty comfortable.
I like to put my feet up, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm just a lazy ass. I like to have my feet up.
I don't ever really crochet like reclined, or that's why I don't think I could diamond paint that way either. Because if I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
Sit up straight.
Well, I still sit up straight. I just have my feet up.
Yeah. Somehow I feel like that crunches me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, crunches up
Yeah,
my body.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
I want that one go down. I don't like that one. What the heck is going on here?
So this fiber festival that we went to today, I went to it the very first year. It's right in my little town of Charlotte. It is put together by the owner of the yarn shop in town and her friend who lives pretty much right next door to her, kind of. She's a hand dyes yarn. So they're friends. and they're the ones that organize this fiber festival. So Lindsay, who owns the shop, she gets to know people that might be shop owners and things like that, where Janice, the hand dyer, she does a lot of trunk shows at other places, and she's met a lot of people that way. But the first year, it's in a big type activity barn at the fairgrounds. And the first year, they had one side that was pretty full, and the other side had just a few booths. There was somebody that was selling coffee there and some other things like that. Well, I didn't go last year because it was a retreat. I'll never make that mistake again. Our retreat will never be on the weekend of the Fiber Festival.
Or Mother's Day.
Or Mother's Day, exactly. There are some things that are sacred. Fiber festivals, Mother's Day. Anyhow, so I missed a year in there. And when I walked in today, I was like, holy cow. They pretty much have that barn full.
It was a lot bigger than I expected it to be.
Yeah, there was 44 or 46 vendors. So there's quite a few. Quite a few.
Yeah, that build, I would say, I don't know, it was comparable in size to the one we go to in Ann Arbor, I think. It seemed like it anyway.
I think the one in Ann Arbor's still quite a bit bigger. Maybe.
Yeah,
not
you're
quite a
probably
bit,
right.
but-
You're probably right.
And I just talked to her the other day about it. I was in picking up something I ordered. And she has said that they have no plans to expand past that barn. They don't want to get
Oh, they don't want to get any bigger than that. Okay.
Yeah. Now, there could be some room for a few more.
I was going to say, there's probably room for a few more booths in
Mhm.
that space.
But one thing that really surprised me was how many bag makers there were.
A lot of bag makers.
Which is cool.
Very cool. I liked that. And I
they
also
had
liked that
good
there was...
prices on the bags.
Yeah, they
the
did.
Bag makers did.
Then there were also the people who had the pre-made items, which, I mean, you and I aren't into that.
Yeah, they did. They had people that had crocheted stuff.
Which I thought was interesting because, I mean, it's a fiber festival. The people who are going there to buy yarn, which would indicate to me that they are makers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they want to go to a place to buy something that somebody had already made if they have the capability of making it themselves?
Well, unless, okay, so here's my take on that.
Okay, let's hear it.
A lot of them are knitters,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
We know that a lot of people who shop these things and they get shop hops and all that are knitters.
Yes, and the two places that we did see who were making the
Selling
pre-made items, they
crochet
were
items.
selling crochet items.
So, if you're a knitter, you might want to buy
I
already
suppose
handmade crocheted items. That was my thought.
that is a good thought. That
Angie
is-
and I were not interested,
No, I
but maybe
maybe a
these
knitter
people who
would be.
knit
Yes.
would have been. Like if somebody had been selling, say for example, that one shawl that I showed you, I bought yarn in those colors.
Yes.
That shawl was gorgeous, but I don't knit.
Correct.
Would I have possibly been interested in purchasing a
Not-
knit shawl like that?
Not for what they would have had to sell it for.
Well, no, I didn't say anything about the price. I said, would I have been interested in maybe purchasing
Yes,
that
yes,
shawl?
yes,
'Cause
yes,
I don't
yes.
knit. Yes, so I guess I can see that. They also had a lot of fiber.
Yes, they did.
Lots of fiber.
Yes, they did. And Angie's talking about herself in the third person. That's interesting. I was, a few years ago, interested in learning how to spin.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried it. I bought a drop spindle. I bought some wool roving. And yeah, no.
It just didn't happen.
It didn't go well.
So, you know.
I got frustrated every time I tried. But I met a lady. We were at the Renaissance Festival, not the one in Holly, but the one in the Thumb. It's like
Never
in
been.
Vassar.
Never
It's
been
very
there.
nice. You should go to that one, Mindy. It is very, very nice. In fact, we have decided that we're only going to go to that one anymore
Really?
and not go to Holly.
You don't like the Holly one?
We do, but we like that one so much better. It's very, very, you would like it. It's very quaint and cute and cozy, and it's like in the woods. It's a very fairy tale woodsy feel. It's very neat.
Okay.
So you'll have to come and check it out.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you'll have to come and check it out this summer with us. Anywho, we were there and I met a lady who was who was spinning, wool into yarn. And she lives in Flint, which is about a half hour from me, and she offered to teach me. So I have her information if I ever do want to.
Is that on a actual big wheel?
No, she was using a drop spindle.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was doing it, the old-fashioned way.
So the new thing that I've learned about, because I watch a few people on YouTube, is e-spinners.
What's an e-spinner? I want one.
You probably do. Because they're small.
Okay.
And they're tabletop.
Okay.
And they just literally sit on your table. They're like maybe this big, they're not very big.
Okay, like a ball winder?
Maybe a little bit bigger than. It depends. Well, it depends on which one you get.
Okay.
Because there's different varieties. But it's an e-spinner. It's electric. So I'm really crooked. My lines are really crooked.
They'll sort themselves out.
I just have to remember that, but it's bugging me. Yeah, so they're electric. You don't have to like treadle like on a yeah, you pick a speed, like how fast you want it to go.
Yeah.
You put your bobbins in there and all this stuff. I
turn it on and then just hold on to it. Hold on for dear life.
Pretty much. I don't think they're super expensive, or they can be.
Well, let's check it out.
Or they can be less expensive. You know what I mean? More economical. If you maybe got like a beginner model or something. I know where my phone is.
Your phone is recording us. I don't know where I did with my phone.
I don't know either. I found it for you once already today.
Come
once was enough.
Come on. Keep yourself together.
But yeah, I think you could probably get one for a few $100, like a beginner model.
Well, it's over here in my bag where it belongs.
Will it be in there?
Okay, e-spinner.
Oh, it was in your bag where it belongs.
Yes, right in my bag where it belongs. E-spinner for yarn. Let's see. So, looks like you can get one on Amazon for $132.
See, I'm telling you, it would be a cheap investment.
Want to try it?
For a beginner.
Let's try it.
For a beginner spinner.
Let's try
And
this.
then they get much bigger and fancier. Some of them only hold like small bobbins, so you can't do.
Right, and I'm assuming that's what this one is.
Yeah.
Because this one's like plastic. It doesn't look,
Yeah, there's better ones that are more.
Yeah, I saw a better one.
Mm-hmm. Which I think, getting up to a few $100s, or you could get even more expensive, of course, but.
Well, isn't that just the cat's meow?
Right? They're pretty
Yeah.
interesting, aren't they?
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. So there's that.
Well, I want to try this. Thanks a lot, Mindy.
I know. You're welcome.
Now I might get back into because I bought all that roving wool, and I bought stellina to mix in to make it sparkly.
Did you see somebody else there was doing something else we've talked about? They were selling the natural dye kits.
Yes, and we have been supposed to dye our. We've got what? How many hanks of undyed?
We don't have many.
Two. Well, I think we each have
maybe
two.
Two. Yeah, maybe two. Yeah.
But I want to say that was 2 to 3 years ago that we bought those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just
sure.
One more of our many
ideas.
Good ideas.
Mm-hmm. You know what they say.
I was just gonna say that. You know what to say.
intentions.
Road to somewhere. If that's the case, then I am on my way because I have nothing but good intentions, and I rarely see them through to fruition.
Yeah. So, besides that, what else were we going to say about the Fiber Festival? Seems like there's something else I was going to say.
Well, we didn't eat there. They did have food trucks.
No, we did not eat there. Look, I have one little rogue drill on my pen because I thought there was one spot that needed one, and
there,
I don't find it.
You can't find it. You'll find it as soon as you put it away.
I'll just put it right here because there's 5 there, and I can come back with 4.
I was thinking you would find it as soon as you put it away.
Right.
You know, the one thing, and I remember this from last time I worked on this, Z's, okay? The Z's, because they could be 7s, they could be 2s, you know what I mean? The background is dark and the writing is dark. So it makes it difficult to...
You really truly need a light
You
pad.
really need to look. I never use a light pad.
You don't?
No.
Well, if you used a light pad, you probably wouldn't have as much trouble with those Z's.
You're probably right, but it's the first time I've ever had a problem.
But it's not happening.
Well, I think maybe, I have to take that back. I did use a light pad. In the very beginning of diamond painting, I used a light pad. And in the beginning, when I was working, I would work in my craft room at my table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I did all my diamond painting on my light pad at the table. And then I got lazy and I started working on my lap desk, and that ended everything.
That was the end of the light pad.
That was the end of the light pad. That was the end of working in my craft room. That was the end of it all.
So the other thing that they did that I told Angie about before we got there, I thought was very interesting, was there's one right there, Angie.
Told
one
you.
single
I told
one
you.
right there.
I knew you'd find
I
it.
knew that there was one. Is they had like an inspiration photo. I thought it was very like 70s mod sort of, but they had this inspiration photo, and all of the creators, they did not have to, of course, but they were encouraged, to make something, dye a yarn, make a bag, whatever, inspired by the colors on this little card. So there were several people there that dyed yarn. Most of it was dyed on fingering weight yarn, and I was not really in the mood to collect a bunch of fingering weight yarn.
Yeah.
Unless they all would have had mini hanks, which they did not all have mini hanks. So
what I had been hoping for when we talked about that, and I guess I kind of misunderstood. And this would have been cool. I mean, it's cool what they did, don't get me wrong. But what I thought that they were going to have a pattern that went with their yarn. You know what I mean?
No.
And you could collect them up from the different dyers and then make the pattern.
Now they
is what
do
I was
that
thinking.
when they do their shop hop.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, there's patterns with the shop hop. Because like that one I just shown you? That one I just showed you?
Mm-hmm.
With that fancy yarn?
Yeah.
That came with a pattern.
Oh, okay.
So it has the pattern. So the shop hop, they kind of do that. But this, it was just color inspiration for whatever they were creating. But the thing that was most interesting to me was how different
they were. Yes.
How very different.
Like the
interpretations.
one you got was almost fluorescent.
So I got 2.
Oh, you got 2. Okay.
Remember,
and then there was one that was more pastel, and then there was one that was more muted
and moody colors, darker colors.
Yep. Like dusty.
It was really wild. Really, really wild.
It was neat.
When I show my goods, I'll have to show the picture.
Oh yeah, do you have one of the cards?
I don't have a card, but I do have a picture of it. So this was the inspiration. Look at what this was.
So not only did we have to go to the festival, but then afterwards we had to go to the yarn store.
Why not?
Of course we did. And that book thing they do is so neat. I am going to join that.
Yeah, she's a friend of Lindsay's. She, works in her shop for her sometimes, so Lindsay can, be gone.
Yeah.
Like today, her and her husband were both down at the festival. I think her name is Sam, I believe.
Oh, that redhead, her name is Sam?
I think so. And so she will, mind the shop for them so they can get a break. Like they went on vacation and she minded the shop for them and stuff. But yeah, she does a mystery. It's like blind date with a book. If anybody's familiar with blind date with a book, you don't know what it is. It's all wrapped up. It just has.
Yeah, it was wrapped up so cute.
Mm-hmm.
It was like getting a little present, and you can join it as a subscription, monthly subscription. Mm-hmm. So for me, I think that would be amazing because I love to read, but I'm not gonna haul my sorry butt out to the bookstore. And I like in-person books. Mm-hmm. I like to have the paper in my hands, mm-hmm. and I like to read the back and the inside cover, and I like to touch them and feel them and see them before I buy them. Mm-hmm. I'm not much of an online book buyer, so that would be awesome for me to get some.
And she doesn't
incentive to read
like
more.
The most hyped up, popular at the moment books, because she figures
everybody already
has those.
Yes.
It would be better to get something that's maybe a couple of years older, or authors that aren't quite as well known.
Well, and I'm excited that she has a historical fiction genre.
Yeah, so you get to pick your genre.
Yeah.
Pick your genre.
Because I love historical fiction.
There was YA, there was mystery thriller, there was historical fiction, there was regular romance, and there's spicy romance.
Maybe we should show them the thing, the QR, in case anybody's interested. I have it in my wallet. Okay. Because here we are hyping it up, and I just know somebody's going to say, well, what
is it? Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. But it's really a neat concept. And I bought a couple books from her before like that, and I did not get anything that I had, which is, always...
Okay, so it's called Comma and Cup.
Yep, Comma and Cup.
I don't know, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Comma and Cup, and that's the QR code in the Etsy shop. Blind date with a book.
She sells them through Etsy?
Yep, blind date with a book, and you can do multiple subscription options. There's like a 3-month subscription, a 6-month subscription, and a 1-year subscription.
Is 3 the lowest?
That was the lowest I saw.
Monthly?
I don't know. That was the lowest I saw on that little sign that was next to them. But I don't know if in her shop, maybe you could just buy one.
Here's a funny story. There was a older lady there, and she was looking at all these bags, because you don't know what they are. They're just these pretty little bags sitting there on the table. And she was like, what is this? And I was explaining to her, the different genres and blah, 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 and how you don't know what the book is, explain the whole thing to her. And she goes, oh, so I like romance. That's spicy? No spicy romance. And I was like, oh yeah, spicy romance for me all day long. And this little lady, she was like, no, I don't need that. She says, I have my memories.
Oh, that's so cute.
It was one of those ladies.
It was one of the ladies that I was sitting with. I have my memories.
The older one of them. I have my memories.
That's adorable.
I was just laughing at that. I'm like, well, I have memories too, but I still like to read about it.
Those ladies had just come from the festival also. Wow. And they had a 2-hour drive ahead of them.
Oh, they were 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that people are traveling.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. It's nice to...
The nether regions.
Yep.
The nether regions.
The nether regions. No, not from the nether regions.
Oh, you know that. Okay. Further away.
Yeah, they were from over the east side of the state. Like far east. They were from the far east.
The
first are from the
nether
nether
regions,
regions. Those are from
in
the Far East.
Mhm. That's really
Yep.
I know the ladies, the other group of ladies, they were like Grand Rapids area.
Oh,
Was
okay.
in the store.
How far is Grand Rapids from here?
I'd say about an hour.
Oh, okay.
About an hour. You know, I think I have all the W's. You know, I think that.
But you once
Of course,
once
I'm
you put them
wrong.
away,
Yes, of course I'm wrong.
they'll jump right out at you
But
because that's how it works.
yeah, but we're gonna change to B, I believe.
Of course, when I decided I was going to do S's next, all I could see was S's. But then as soon as I poured the
Now I
S's
don't
in my
see 'em.
tray, now all I see are G's.
Oh, yeah, makes complete sense.
So, and then plus, I'm feeling dyslexic because I went from Z's to S's. And they're exactly backwards from each other.
Oh, yeah.
What you looking for?
B.
See if I can help you.
B B B
B
B
B B B B B B B B B B B B.
Is it on your tray?
No,
Okay.
no.
Thought I'd check there first before I keep looking at all the rest of them.
What color is it?
Brown.
Interesting.
I don't have one. It's gone.
We lost it.
It left.
It's right there.
It's not brown.
It's peach.
I'll be darned if it doesn't look more tannish brown. And then part of the problem is the label has.
Yes, and that's that's
the
one
label
problem.
I'm glad it's not the AB because ABs start next.
That's the problem with these Craftmates lockables is
The
sliding
labels.
them in and out. The labels get torn off. So I have taken to
I tape
taping
them.
them. Yes.
I tape them. I'll probably get some tape and tape that one because it's gonna drive both of us bonkers.
Batty and
Yeah,
bonkers
the
both.
ABs start in the next container.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad I'm not doing ABs right now, honestly.
You're just not ready?
No. Have you done
Not
ABs?
ready for this. Yes.
You have done some.
Oh, not today. Not
No,
today.
not
I thought you meant, in my life.
Well, God, I would hope so, but
No, this is my first day. I've never done an AB.
I've never done. What's an AB?
AB, what's that?
I did mean just today. Have you done any today, Angie? Today. Oh, boy.
So Mindy and I have been together all day. So we've already covered, all of our basic topics of conversation, like what did you do last night, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So we can't even talk about any of that because
Right.
then we're just rehashing
'Cause
events.
we're just, we've already told each
We've
other
already
that.
told each other that.
Yeah. So everything else interesting and exciting to talk about?
Oh, so Nate, you know how I told him to take a shower yesterday before
And he
went
didn't.
up? And he didn't. No,
Mhm.
because you want to know what
Because he
his
wants to go see his girlfriend Stanky.
exactly.
That makes complete
It
sense.
makes complete sense. No, do you want to know what his
Dale, do you want to go see a girlfriend without a shower?
But his reasoning is as soon as he got up there, they were going swimming.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard
that was his reasoning.
in the crochet lab.
Yeah.
I heard you say that. Oh, you're going swimming when you get there. Still, but swimming is
Swimming
not
is
going
not-
to make you clean.
Exactly. It's not soap. It's not hot
It's not
water.
gonna wash
it's
your
not
hair.
washing your hair.
It's not.
It's
gonna,
not a washcloth scrubbing your booty.
No. So he can still have stink ass.
Exactly.
Are they swimming in a pool?
No, they were swimming in a lake.
Wow.
I didn't find that out.
Well.
That was the point of my
I thought
story.
Dale could hear my question. I didn't realize he'd closed the door to the office. Couldn't hear me.
That was the point of my story. Is then I
It's a
found
lake.
out he was swimming in a lake.
Okay, yeah. Well, he could take shampoo into the lake.
I suppose. So
But still, that's not, no.
So
Nate.
he's way up in Lewiston, right? Which Lewiston is quite far. Lewiston is 2 hours north of me.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, do you know where Atlanta is?
No, it's under the sea somewhere.
No, that's
Oh,
Atlantis.
Atlantis. Okay. Atlanta's in Georgia.
No, it's the other Atlanta.
No, I don't know that one.
Anywho,
It's interesting to live in a state and somebody says someplace and you're like, I don't know where that's
Oh,
at. But I
that's
lived
up.
here my whole life, but I don't know every place. No.
it's It is, okay, if I'm going to give everybody, I don't know if they can see me, but I'll show you. Okay, so you live here, right?
I live more over here.
More over here. You're here.
Yeah, that way.
I'm here. Lewiston is up here.
Oh, so it's almost up
to the bridge. Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So he, just for between my house and your house, the weather can change.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm only an hour and a half north of you.
Yeah.
So he thought that he was going to drive over 2 hours further north, go swimming in a lake, and that was going to be enjoyable.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, you think?
It's going to be freezing cold.
You think?
Like when we were up at the Ram Center for the retreat. It was much colder up there than it was here.
Yes.
It's like a different worlds sometimes.
Yep, it sure is.
How one part of the state can be something and another part is something completely different.
And my dad, when he was in the army.
Why did they think they wanted to go swimming in a lake in the middle of May? Not even the middle. Is it the middle of May?
It is the middle of May. It's the middle of May.
So why do they think swimming in a lake in the middle of May is a good idea to start with?
Probably because they're 16.
So this had nothing to do with the parental units up there.
I don't think so.
Just the kids decided they were going to a lake to swim.
Yeah. Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Where was I going?
That they were trying to get some hanky-panky in the lake?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
I was just thinking, because I know that he's up there like with her family.
Yeah, but maybe they were trying to get some alone time?
No. I was just thinking, where was the parental judgment?
Oh, the parental judgment was
swimming in a lake.
Well, if you want to go freeze your bejeebers off, in May, go for it. In Michigan, yeah, go for it.
What lake is it?
Twin Lake, West Twin Lake.
I
had never heard of it.
It's not going to be warm.
No, it wasn't warm. In fact, because I texted Nate and asked him if he went, because last night he texted me and said he was dying because it was so hot. They must not have air conditioning in their house. And so I said, you'll be fine. It's going to be cooler tomorrow. And I said, did you swim? That should have cooled you right down. He said, yeah, it was freezing. I could hardly stand it. And I'm like,
That's why I'm like,
wish you would have taken that shower, don't you?
There was an adult that said to any of them, you really look at, I'm having a hard time.
I'm sure she would.
With this wrinkly part.
Yeah, I've got a wrinkly part too.
I'm like, lay flat.
I know. I'm sure that they were told, but kids that age don't necessarily listen.
They are fearless and they can do anything.
Yes. I know my dad used to, when my dad was in the Army, he was stationed in California. And that was the thing he loved the most about California was the weather changes depending on where you were in the state, because he would always say he could go skiing in the morning and surfing in the afternoon.
So this was one of those live and learn situations. Nobody probably could have told them it was a stupid idea.
No, nobody could have told them.
They could have, but
they wouldn't have listened. Right.
And so this was
Yep, won't do that again.
Yourself, didn't you?
What is that saying that they have? F around and find out.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, F around and find out.
I'm just looking at it from the perspective of being a teacher, where sometimes kids, you just need to let them make mistakes and learn for themselves.
Yes, you do. It's funny. I was watching Dr. Phil last night, and that was exactly what it was about. Yeah, was Dr. Phil was saying sometimes you just protect too much.
Yep. As long as it's not
gonna hurt them.
Dangerous.
Exactly.
If you're just gonna freeze your balls off, then okay.
Yes.
Did I just say that out loud?
Yes, you did say that out loud.
Yeah.
But let's hope that he did do exactly that since he's up north with his girlfriend.
Well, and maybe that would have been a good thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They were frozen.
They were frozen. That's what I'm saying.
Inoperative.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
It's, it's different having a teenage boy than a teenage girl. Like, I thought I would worry less about that kind of thing, but I find that I'm actually worrying more for some reason. I don't know.
It's been a long time since I had teenagers.
I don't know. I just know that I don't want to be a grandma anytime soon. It's not from him anyways.
Speaking of that, we were at the hospital last night.
Yes.
I haven't really talked about that yet, but we were at the hospital last night.
Yes.
And at the reception area, like, I was there and I walked up to throw something into the trash can.
Uh-huh.
And on the counter were what I would call little mystery bags. They were all wrapped in brown paper.
At the hospital?
Little packages on
Okay.
the counter in a basket. All little cutesy, wrapped up little packages.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of stopped and I looked at them. I'm thinking, at first I thought they were like cookies or something.
Uh-huh.
Snacks.
Right.
They weren't.
They weren't snacks.
No.
Were they condoms?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
They were little bundles of condoms.
Little bundles of condoms.
And so I had asked the receptionist, I'm like, wow. I said, I don't think I've ever seen that. She goes, yeah, we always have them. They come in like bundles of like 2,000. They get like 2,000 of them. And they're gone in just a few months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm like,
basically
so
kids
will
without
just come in
question
here
can just come in and
get them.
but isn't that a blessing that they do that?
Yeah. And they come from the health department.
Because we thankfully are open with Nate in discussing safety.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also realistic in that he is a teenage boy who has hormones, raging hormones. And we're not so naive as to think that
something might not happen.
Something might not happen.
I remember
exactly.
a few years ago when you started talking about Nate, and you're like, "No, not my little boy.
Not
He's
my-
not doing that." Mm-mm.
Well, he wasn't then. Now he is. That was then. That was a couple years ago.
Things have
have
definitely
changed. Yes, my
Mhm.
little baby has grown up.
Mhm. It's funny.
um.
God, I remember those days.
And
I would say Angie. Angie.
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't doing that
And
then.
they're like, no. I'm like, Angie.
He wasn't doing that then. He's definitely doing it now, but he wasn't then.
He was just in pre getting there.
Pre-adolescence, yes.
He was getting there.
Yeah, he was getting there.
He was probably still doing some stuff then that you didn't really think he should have been or could have been or would have been.
All kids probably do.
I know, right?
All
Yes.
kids probably do. I just didn't want to know about it yet.
I know. That was the whole point.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, but I thought that was very interesting that they have these little bundles there and they go through them as quickly as you go through them.
But that's good because then kids don't have to be, sometimes parents aren't as open to discussing or providing that as others.
So I wonder if they just stop in on their lunch break or something from school,
Stop and grab some. Yeah.
I gotta run to the hospital real quick.
Well, they're expensive. We make sure that
I was very curious about the whole thing. I said, well, do you know how many's in there? And she goes, I don't. I said, have you opened them? And she goes, I've never opened them. I'm like, really?
Well, why didn't you take one? Did you
I
say, are they
almost
free to
did.
everyone?
Yeah, well, they are. I know they are. I almost did.
You should have taken one.
But what I have done with them?
I didn't know. Made balloon animals.
I suppose I could have given them to Josh, I suppose.
You could have made balloon animals.
Do you need these? Do you want these? Do you have use for these? I hope you have use for these. Well,
I hope if you need to have a use for these, you have them.
Yeah. Well, at this point, knock on wood, I'm pretty sure he's been,
He's been what?
safe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say spayed.
No, he's been safe.
Safe, yes, he has. Up till this point, knock on wood.
Yes, there has been no indication of, there's no children or...
Oh, speaking of children or indications of children.
Indications of children.
Yeah. I had a shock of my life the other day.
Yeah, somebody's having a baby?
Well, let me just say this. Madeline has always said that she didn't want
It always
children.
cracks me up when you call her Madeline.
Well, I know, because we call her Buddy at home, because she's Buddy.
And it's just always Maddie to me.
Yeah.
You call her Madeline, I'm like, ooh, oh, that's Maddie.
So Maddie was over, and Maddie has always said that she didn't want children. She has said she didn't want children from the time she was a child.
Okay.
She has never wanted to have children.
Okay.
So all of a sudden,
She's a what? A millennial?
she'll be turning 28 this year.
Does that make her? Well, what is she?
No, she's a Gen Z.
She's even younger.
Yeah, she's even younger than that. Okay. Emily's a millennial.
Okay.
So she'll be 28 this year, and she said, I think that if I'm going to have kids, I better start thinking about doing it in the next couple of years, getting settled down.
And you were like,
I said, what? She's like, yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I think
First of all, settling down.
Yeah, right? Out of Madeline's mouth.
Second of all, with children.
Yes, I know, right? I told Jeff about it when he got home from work, and Jeff said, oh, hell no.
What world am I living in?
He said, oh, no, we're not ending up with that kid as soon as we get rid of our own. And poor Jeff, you realize, I was he had never been married before when he and I got married, and my girls were 3 and 5. And so he's been a parent to them since, and now they're 30 and 27, almost 28. But prior to that, from the time he graduated high school, his first girlfriend that he lived with for 10 years had a 3-year-old son. So he was a parent figure to that child for 10 years. From 18 to 28. From 18 to 28, and then my children, and then our child together. So he's 54. So he's been parenting for 38 years. He's been parenting a minor child.
A minor child. That is the key, because I have been parenting.
Well, yes. But a minor, he has had
40 years.
He's been parenting minor children for 38 years.
My daughter is almost 40.
Oh my gosh, you're old.
I know. There's an Oriole on my Oriole. Oh, there it goes. It's up in the bush now.
Oh, cool.
It's an Oriole on the Oriole tree. 40. She's almost 40.
That's crazy.
As a matter of fact, I believe she turns 40 this year.
Oh, wow.
It's 85 to, yeah.
Yeah?
She's 40. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So when Maddie announced that she wants to have a baby soon, and I told Jeff, he said, I've been taking care of kids for almost 40 years, and I don't want to have to take care of hers as soon as we get rid of all of ours.
Well, she would need to take care of hers. She would just need to settle down.
Well, that's it. There's the key. Yeah, that's the key. I hope everybody knows how much we love Maddie. Yes. I know we pick on her, but we love her.
Maybe she should have a steady relationship for
longer than 6 months.
A couple years.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe. Not,
but that's what
a year. Okay.
But that's what her point is that the guy she's been dating for the past 6 months, that they seem to get along quite well.
Does she think this is the one to settle down with and have children with?
No,
because so he needs to get rid of this one.
Well, because he does not want children, has very explicitly said that he does not want children, and so that's where she's kind of at.
So now she's like, I think I need to break up with
him. But she doesn't want to because she likes him,
But if it's not going,
anywhere,
she wants it to
right,
end up going,
right.
What's the point?
And that's her point, is that if she's not ever going to have kids, and if she wants to have kids soon, she needs to quit fooling around.
Yeah, she got to get moving.
She needs to grow out of the date for fun phase.
The date for fun phase. Is that what they call it now?
I don't know what they call it. That's what I call it. I unfortunately never had that phase.
I didn't either. Not really.
I had the have some kids phase. It lasted.
Yep.
Here you go. Have a few kids.
Yep.
I know, I can't believe that it's almost over for me.
You know that we have said this before, that your child and my child together would be a complete disaster.
Yes, they would. Oh my gosh.
They would just be a complete
They
disaster.
would be a horrible disaster.
However,
they would be a nightmare.
However, they both really kind of are talking in the same vein these days.
Oh, really? Josh is talking about wanting to settle down and start a family?
You know, he broke up with his girlfriend. That
Okay.
he still lives with.
Oh, he still lives there, but they're broken up.
They're broken up, but he's still living there.
Okay.
And why? Because it wasn't going anywhere.
Really?
It wasn't. There's nothing wrong with her. She's,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not going anywhere.
Now, is he interested in having children?
That came up in the conversation.
And she's not interested in having any more.
She has one, and he doesn't see that happening with her.
Okay.
And he's going to be 37 now.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's different for a guy.
It is, because he's
different.
not going to have a child. He's not going to give birth.
Right. And not only that, but he can be a father to a child into his stinking 80s for that matter.
Right.
You know, his eggs aren't going bad. His
Right.
biological clock isn't thumping.
Correct. But he is feeling the age coming on, and
Right.
feeling he said something about he could have had a kid that was in high school at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're right, you could have.
Yeah. Well, and I have an interesting perspective to that because I've done it both ways. I had my first daughter when I was 19, and I had my last child when I was 35. So I was both a young mother and an older mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, having experienced it both ways, even though in some aspects it was difficult to be a young mother, if I had it to do over again, I would rather be a young mother than an older mother.
Yeah.
You know, it was
I can
just,
see that.
I think that I was more fun with my girls, especially as they got to be a little bit older.
You're more into things. You're more
You're more relevant, you're more hip,
active,
you're more physically active. Exactly.
Not that you need to be all hip and everything to be a parent. But
No, exactly. No, but
I get the whole point.
yeah,
I get it.
I get it. Yeah, like we are because Jeff's 4 years older than me even, so Jeff was 40 when Nate was born, and we're definitely like one of the oldest, if not the oldest set of parents of his.
But you're not even really that old.
No, I don't know if in his grade level, if all of the parents were just incredibly young or what, but when we are at school functions,
Well,
we
these days that happens.
we are definitely the oldest parents there.
Interesting.
Yeah, we are definitely the oldest.
Don't tell Angie, but I'm going to do a cheat right here.
Are you going to use the wrong color?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Just
I'll let it slide
Just
this
one.
time.
Just one of those stinking W's.
I won't tell her.
Okay. Don't touch
She can be a real bee sometimes.
I know you've done it.
Yes, I have.
I know you've done it.
Especially if it's a similar color.
Yes, and these are like one little ticky shade off.
Right, that's what I'm doing right now is this shade. I'm now doing the G's, and they're one little ticky shade off from the S's that I just did.
Now we're going to say that forever now. One little ticky shade.
One little ticky shade. One little ticky shade. So did you get hit by more storms last night?
No, not really.
We had more storms last
Did
night.
you? I heard some thunder, but that was about it. I heard thunder.
We had, they weren't as bad as the night before, but we watched it roll in, actually. We were coming home from Bay City, and you could just see the front, and we had the top down on the car.
Oh.
And, well, you could feel, like, the barometric pressure, you could just feel it. Just the whole air, everything just changed. It was weird.
I told Angie that something strange happened the other night with the storm and the tornadoes and all that. We definitely had tornadoes touch down pretty close to where I live, and even closer to Shannon, where Shannon lives. They were probably a mile from
Oh,
Shannon.
wow.
Yeah. But I've never had anybody call me on the telephone. Never have I gotten a phone call
That's because nobody likes you.
to tell
No.
me.
Oh, you mean
No. No.
Oh, not that kind of call.
No.
Oh, okay.
A phone call to tell me that there was a storm alert.
To take cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the weather service called us. They called my phone. They called Dale's phone. They called us on the phone. Some random number was calling. And I don't normally answer random numbers.
Especially at that time of night.
But I did. I answered it on Dale's phone, actually. And then I saw it had called on my phone as well. And it was a phone call to say severe weather, tornado warning, not a watch.
Not a watch.
A
Yep.
warning.
Yep.
That means tornado's been sighted,
Yep.
you know. But they called on the phone. I didn't know that was a thing. Very weird. But yeah, there was quite a bit of damage around here. Dale we went to the Fiber Festival, where I forgot to film anything. What was I going to say?
I don't know. Dale, something about Dale.
Dale was heading to Meyer, and he was like, "Wow, you know the corner of such and such and such and such?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Like all their trees are gone." He goes, "You know where the Budweiser horse wagon is?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "All their big trees right there, they're gone." And I was like, "Wow." Now that is about a mile from Shannon's house. As the crow flies, it's a mile.
As the tornado drifts.
As the tornado goes, yes.
Yeah.
You can kind of, it's always interesting, you can kind of follow the path of
yeah.
the tornado when you hear who had damage where, and you're like, oh yeah, it was here, and then it came this way, and then it came this way, and it keeps going, and it goes into Lansing, and yeah. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think the closest one to our house was a couple of miles away. It was farther than what you guys had.
Yeah. It was all.
But we did have we had the things. The alert came up on our phone to take cover that it was a warning, and the storm sirens were going off, and Nate was scared. He came and slept out with me on the couch.
Yeah, and my phone wasn't working very good.
Right.
Cell service wise or whatnot. I was trying to be able to watch like weather or radar, and it wasn't working. And I could text. I texted my daughter to say, "Hey, be safe," blah blah blah. And she's like, "Yeah, the kid is sound asleep. He hasn't even moved, so he was in his bedroom asleep." And her and Devin were sitting out in the living room. Devin was watching radar. Shannon's panickingly, is that a word?
Yes.
Panickingly looking out the front window.
I was panickingly looking out the back windows because, I could see more from that direction, and it was crazy how the sky would just stay lit up with lightning. It just stayed lit.
It was just like the whole sky just lit up.
Yep. It was amazing.
Yeah, their front window over there would be exactly the direction that anything would come from.
Okay.
And it's a big open field across the street.
Oh, so she could see everything on its way.
Seen it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And know, like, oh, look, oh, shit. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, but they were okay. And
what are you guys going to have for dinner tonight? Anything good?
I don't know. I really don't
See,
know.
Saturday's always our big dinner night. Like, we have a fancy dinner on Saturday.
Every Saturday?
Every Saturday we have fancy dinner.
We end up often with like pizza on
Saturday. I know, because of your life. Yeah.
We have pizza after my life. I don't know. We've been having goulash because I made goulash. And you can't make
just a little bit
small
of goulash. Right. We're having steak and shrimp like always, like every Saturday. We always have steak and shrimp on Saturday. But just this week, because Nate's gone, this is terrible. Tell me if this is, he thinks this is horrible. I think it's just fine. He's been craving crab legs, and the meat market near us has crab legs on special right now.
You guys have a meat market, that kills me.
Yeah, fruit and meat. Yep. The meat market has crab legs on special right now. And so I told him, I said, I don't really want crab legs, but if you want them, go ahead and treat yourself and get them. You know, I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings if I don't eat crab legs and you do, you know, and he just thinks he just feels like it's so unfair because we're doing it when Nate's not home.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think so.
No, Nate is a big boy, and he's
Exactly.
away, and he's having a good time.
Exactly. And, you know, when I was a kid, we would have, you know, if the parents had friends over and they had steaks, us kids would have hamburgers or hot dogs. You know what I mean? We never got to eat steaks. So he's lucky he even gets that stuff at all.
So I don't know what we're having. The goulash is just about gone. I told Dale you could have it for lunch. He probably didn't. There's just a little bit left. But you know, you can't make one helping or two helpings of goulash.
No, you have to make a whole darn pot of it.
Yeah, a bunch of goulash. So we're goulashed out. So
I love goulash. Now, when you reheat it, do you put cheese in it?
No.
Ooh, it's good with cheese.
I don't cheese it.
Only when I reheat it. When I make it the first time, I don't. But when I reheat it, I always put cheese.
Okay, you're the last color. You're not this color.
Cheese makes everything better.
No.
Cheese makes the world a better place.
I won't disagree with that. But no, I've never put cheese in goulash.
Oh, now are the person? Yes, you are. You like to make sure these all go back in the same space.
Oh, yes.
I forgot about that. Goodness.
Yeah.
And see, I just throw them all back
And
in
as a matter of fact,
willy-nilly.
I just put this one away because I just used this one. I put it away and
Yep.
I realized I put it in upside down, so I had to fix it so it's back where it's supposed to be.
Oh, geez, I forgot about that.
You can do whatever you want
No,
when
no,
it's at your house.
no, that's okay. I'll make sure when it comes back, it's perfect. I remember you did comment about that before.
It is the only way I can find the drills.
I started this wacky thing where I have been, instead of looking at the canvas and saying, okay, I'm going to do L, I have been just starting with drill number 1, taking it, putting it in that section. Drill number 2, put it in that section, and just going through isn't that weird?
No, I've done that before.
I don't know why. I just started doing that.
I have, but like here, on this section here, I knew.
You knew. Well, because you don't have that many colors in that section.
In this section.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to just look for, I just started, and I do this often though. Actually, I do this often. I'll just start up here and I pick a color up here. Like maybe I would have picked the P over here.
See, yes, I always pick the color that's like the most amount of spaces in the bottom right, if that makes any sense.
Oh, like when you're way over here, you'll
Yep,
pick either like the P or this X.
If there's lots of them.
It's not an X, it's like a weird time.
Like if there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
you know.
Gotcha. Well, Angie, we can keep diamond painting, but I think I'm going to stop this video.
Oh yeah, because we're pretty much just talking about nothing, aren't we?
We are, really. But it's been going for an hour. Did you know that?
No, are you serious?
When I just got up to get the tape, I looked, and it's an hour.
Oh my
It's an hour
goodness.
and 2 minutes or something. It's been
Well,
done.
yeah, nobody wants to hear us ramble that long.
And that's
do
going to
they?
take forever to process. on my computer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should probably
may be
tell
out-
everybody goodbye.
This may be out next week sometime. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
All right, well, this is fun.
Yeah, and
How
you'll
much
get
did you
to
get done? Look at now. You've done a lot of peachy brown oranges too, and look, I did a lot of peachy brown oranges.
Yeah, I'd
I
say we
didn't
both
buy
got
flowers,
about the
but-
same amount done. I'd say I moved on to blue.
Ooh, you got blue. I'm still in brown and peach and tans.
I got a little bit more brown to do, but I was browned out. I had a brown out.
Brown out. Sounds like a problem in your pants.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
In your pants. Oh goodness.
Don't wish that on me.
No, I won't.
I had a long drive home.
That's right. Well, you do have a convertible top. I don't know what that means. You could
Just fling it out?
let it.
Or
Let
air
it
it out
fly.
anyway.
Okay,
Gross.
I
We gotta stop.
One more weird thing.
Okay.
I saw this little video, little shorts video or something. A lady was being arrested for projectile diarrhea on somebody's vehicle in an episode of road rage.
She did it on purpose?
She projectiled all over this person's car. And I'm like, first of all,
how do you do that on demand?
How do you do that?
Right.
How does that even happen?
How can you just do it on demand like that?
Exactly. Second of all, why?
Yeah, right.
But how was really more of my question.
Yeah, how
does that even happen? How
That's
do you
bizarre.
get more parts of?
But how do you, like, in that moment,
I
think
don't know.
I'm gonna do this
Yeah,
and then physically be able to conjure it up?
I don't know.
Like, I can't go till I'm ready.
Maybe the road rage
Incited
No, maybe the road rage came on because she
had to go.
and this person was
like holding her back.
I don't know the whole story, but I just found it the most bizarre thing I'd ever heard.
They didn't show it in the video, did they?
They showed the car.
Did they had the poo on it? Yuck. Gross.
I know.
That's disgusting. I don't
It
want
was
to see
in the
that.
distance. It wasn't like it was up close,
okay.
But you could see stuff.
Because usually, like, even on like true videos or whatever, they bleep stuff like that out.
No, it was kind of there.
Oh, gross. But I didn't see that
Isn't
video.
that bizarre though?
It is bizarre on many levels.
People do some strange stuff.
Yes, they do.
It's like watching Karen videos, you know?
Oh my God, I love Karen videos.
Lord, sometimes you're just like,
I love Karen videos. Speaking of, oh my gosh, so I can tell you, we don't have to have the video, we don't have to keep recording.
Okay.
But I got a story to tell you.
Well, you're going to miss out on this story, guys, because this video is going to take forever to process. So I'm glad you hung out with us. We're always, crazy. So, all right. Glad you're here. See you later. Bye.
Bye.